Welcome to NAIOP South Florida's Awards of Excellence, recognizing the outstanding achievements in commercial real estate for 2019. Spoiler alert, it's a virtual event. I'm Darcy Lunsford, the 2019 NAIOP South Florida president. And as has been our tradition for decades, I had really been looking forward to spending a wonderful evening with all of you, sipping vino and telling deal war stories. But not even a worldwide pandemic can dampen the heart of a deal warrior or the spirit of South Florida's CRE champions. So we're celebrating virtually, and we thank all of you for being part of our shared commercial real estate story today. Innovative, daring, game-changing, and bold. Those are the words that best describe the projects and the deals that define South Florida's commercial real estate market in 2019. So let's raise a virtual glass, or an actual one if you choose to the top commercial real estate developments, deals, and deal makers of 2019. Congratulations to all our finalists. It was a record year for entries, and every single finalist should be proud of this professional nod for a job well done. But before we get to the main event, I'd like to recognize our 2019 Board of Directors and thank them all for their service to our chapter. It has truly been an honor and a privilege to serve as NAIOP's 2019 president and work alongside so many talented, driven, and dedicated people. My year as chapter president has been exciting, challenging, rewarding, and spectacularly fun. We created must-see professional development programs and brought in headline-grabbing speakers like Anthony "The Mooch" Scaramucci. We also forged coalitions and effectively racked up numerous legislative wins, including a $70 million tax cut for Florida commercial leaseholders and sweeping growth management laws that remove onerous regulations and unfair burdens for development. But there is no I in team. So I also want to give huge props to our fantastic volunteers and gifted professional staff, Jules Morgan and Alba Garcia, for what we as an organization have achieved. In January, I proudly handed off the president's gavel to another amazing leader, Stephanie Rodriguez of Duke Realty, who is already leading us forward in 2020. And making all that we do possible are the chapter's amazing gemstone sponsors. These are the companies that show outstanding support for NAIOP South Florida with their dollars. Please join me in thanking our 2019 Gemstone sponsors. Diamond sponsored BB&T and Tower Commercial Real Estate. Emerald sponsors Duke Realty and Prologis. Ruby sponsors Butters Construction and Development, Centerpoint Properties, Colliers International, Marcus and Millichap, and Premier Design and Build Group. Sapphire sponsors Ackerman LLP, Avison Young, Berger Commercial Realty, Blanca Commercial Realty, Brody and Associates, Buchanan, Ingersoll and Rooney, CBRE, Current Builders, Cushman and Wakefield, Excel Construction, FH Construction and Development, Janae Property Group, GFA International, Graham Companies, Grover Corlew, Gunster, Itasca Construction, JLL, Liberty Property Trust, Miller Construction Company, Miramar Park of Commerce, Pearson Grant, Risk Strategies, Styles, and Workspace Property Trust. And finally, before we get into the program, I want to let our Awards of Excellence Committee know how much we appreciate the hard work that went into preparing a gala, even if it couldn't happen. Our co-chairs, Mary Harris with Berger Commercial Realty and Tracy Miller with Miller Construction, had an outstanding committee. Thank you for your tireless commitment to making this a Class A event. Now, let's get to the fun part of awarding excellence. I'll turn it over to Tracy and Mary to give you an overview of this year's awards.
Thank you, Darcy. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As co-chair for the awards and a member of the Board of Directors for NAIOP South Florida, I'm honored to welcome you to our first virtual Awards of Excellence. Of course, we had to make a difficult decision at the last minute, and we wanted to share that it wasn't a total loss. Mary and I coordinated with the Marriott, and we picked up all of the food that would have been served at our event, and we delivered it to both the Salvation Army Family Kitchen and the LifeNet for Families Community Kitchen. Between the two of them, they served more than 400 meals to homeless families and individuals with the bounty of high-quality food and fresh vegetables that we were able to deliver. So you are the ones who deserve the thanks for helping us to make those lemons into lemonade.
Tracy and I also want to thank a few people who made this night possible. Susan Imbrugata was our judges liaison and oversaw the process of judging all those nominations we received. Our committee also included Kristen Helverson, Carlos Lara, Stephanie Rodriguez, David Siegel, Andrew Walmsley, and of course, Jules Morgan and Alba Garcia. Thank you all for all the hard work you did to make this event possible.
Next, we'd like to thank our sponsors that helped to make this event possible. Special thanks goes to our King's Table sponsors, Foundry Commercial and Marcus and Millichap. We'd also like to thank the rest of our sponsors, Avis & Young, Bridge Development Partners, CBRE, Duke Realty, GFA International, JLL, Miller Construction, The Related Group, and Styles. Judging these nominations, that can't happen without judges. We want to thank Susan again with City National Bank for coordinating the entire process. We want to make a special note, though. None of our sponsors were solicited for the program until after the judging and the finalists were determined. NAIOP South Florida would also like to give thanks to our public relations firm, Pearson Grant, who helped promote the work accomplished by all of the Awards of Excellence honorees.
I would like to acknowledge and thank our judges. They took the time to review many submissions and committed a half day to narrow down the finalists and winners. As many of you may notice, our call for entries has more general categories than we ended up awarding. This is because once we receive the many entries, the judges are tasked with reviewing and deciding those that need further delineation and make sure we give recognition where it is due. To this year's judges, we appreciate your time and effort. Evan Brody, Brody & Associates, Marty Booz Cruz, Simonelli Real Estate Services of Florida, Peter Gardner, Long Point Realty Partners, Ben Janae, Janae Property, Susan Imbrugata, City National Bank, Judge Liaison, Greg Martin, Avis & Young, Ryan Nee, Marcus and Millichap, Eric Rapkin, Ackerman, Peter Sheridan, JLL, David Siegel, Styles, Michael Silver, CBRE, Bob Swindell, Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance, Tracy Van Hart, Iberia Bank.
This is all about recognizing the outstanding work of the commercial real estate industry. With a remarkable number of submissions, we were pleased not only by the strong response for the call for nominations, but by the quality of transactions executed in 2019. This year's finalists and winners can be particularly proud because their deals rose above some steep competition. We have 16 award categories to present, and we're very happy that you and your teams took the time to fill out the application and to join us here virtually to celebrate with all of the winners.
We will be announcing our winners today and delivering their award and champagne in the coming week. We also have recognition awards for each of our finalists that will be distributed at upcoming events later this year.
So let's get started.
Industrial Lease Transaction of the Year. Our finalists are County Line Corporate Park, Flagler Global Logistics, CBRE, Miami Warehouse Logistics at Carrie Meek International Business Park, State Street Realty, Rennis, Newmark Knight Frank, UPS Lease at Bridgepoint Commerce Center, CBRE. And the winner is County Line Corporate Park, Flagler Global Logistics, CBRE. The largest industrial lease transaction of the year, but the largest in the history of South Florida at over 1 million square feet. The sheer size of the deal made it challenging. The number of well-located industrial sites to accommodate adjacent buildings that comprise 1 million square feet is very challenging in South Florida. CCP is also a new business park, and demonstrating to the end user that a park will be a good fit posed its own challenges with competition from mature business parks. Working with the city and utility providers posed challenges as well, including amending the development agreement to accommodate the design. Office Lease Transaction of the Year. Our finalists are Hayes Medical Staffing, Cushman & Wakefield, Lennar Corporation, Cushman & Wakefield, Omni at Biscayne, Tower Commercial Real Estate, The Plaza Coral Gables, Newmark Knight Frank. And the winner is Lennar Corporation, Cushman and Wakefield. Largest office lease of 2019 for South Florida tenant Lennar is Miami-based Fortune 500 company, largest U.S. home builder. Lennar has not moved HQ for 40 years. Lease resulted in quickly backfilling 75% of vacant building. Lennar choosing 5505 Waterford over BTS options demonstrates C&W's marketing strength. 5505 was vacated by Burger King in November 2018, leaving a 213,182 square foot hole in the market. Franklin Street wanted to fill with 1 to 4 large tenants instead of a traditional lease-up approach. Few tenants in the Miami market in 150K to 200K square foot range. C&W had to show Lennar 2002 built 5505 Waterford was a better option than BTS. Lennar has strict requirements including more parking, which required additional lot and level of parking garage. Had to secure extensive permits with the county, DERM, FAA, and zoning variants. Sale of the Year. Due to a wide variety of entries, this category was divided into 3 subcategories to be recognized. Sale of the Year, Land. AVE Aviation and Commerce Center Industrial Land Deal, Avis & Young. First Industrial 19.8 acre sale, CBRE. Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport, FXE, Colliers International. Wynwood Portfolio Sale, Avis & Young. And the winner is AVE Aviation and Commerce Center Industrial Land Deal, Avis & Young. During the sale process, the Avis & Young industrial team overcame several challenges, including reassigning a land lease on Miami-Dade County property and facilitating 46 contract amendments to ultimately close the deal. Land leases are very complicated, as it is challenging to find a buyer to buy a land lease. However, Bridge saw it as a perfect fit. Overall, Avis & Young's trusted history working with both AVE and Bridge in the past helped the team navigate many of the obstacles. Sale of the Year, Private. 475 Biltmore Somi Center Portfolio, Marcus & Millichap. Hive & Flagler Uptown Sale, Native Realty. Pompano Beach Commerce Park, CBRE. South Florida Distribution Center, CBRE. And the winner is Hive & Flagler Uptown Sale, Native Realty. The milestone sale of the Hive & Flagler Uptown buildings was a defining moment for Fort Lauderdale's Flagler Village. Jamie Sturgis was previously called crazy for seeing potential in the once abandoned neighborhood rife with dilapidated industrial buildings, but he successfully renovated, curated, and rebranded the buildings. His efforts culminated in Miami investor Tricera Capital, paying record prices for Hive & Flagler Uptown in the company's first Flagler acquisition. Sale of the Year, Institutional. 550 Biltmore, Cushman & Wakefield. 800 Brickell, CBRE. Bridgepoint Powerline Road, Bridge Development Partners. Centergate at Gretny, CBRE. The Avant at Pembroke Pines, CBRE. And the winner is a tie between 800 Brickell, CBRE, and the Avant at Pembroke Pines, CBRE. 800 Brickell CBRE. The biggest challenge in the sale of 800 Brickell was achieving the record-setting $600 per square foot, which is the highest price per square foot ever recorded for an office tower in South Florida. The challenge was compounded by the fact that CBRE recently sold this same asset in 2015 for $534 per square foot, and that pricing was still fresh in the investors' minds. CBRE overcame this challenge by focusing on the underlying land value and the eventual redevelopment of a portion or the entirety of the site. The Avant at Pembroke Pines, CBRE. identifying buyers with a desire and capability to complete a single asset transaction with a price tag well in excess of $300 million, and creating a sufficiently competitive environment to drive pricing for such large asset. Overcoming operational concerns associated with such a large asset. Crafting a credible value-add thesis that would induce buyers to focus on the upside potential rather than fixating on the sub 5% in-place cap rate. Overcoming reputational concerns over the past. Economic Impact of the Year. Our finalists are Bell Harbor Shops, JLL. Spirit Airlines Headquarters, Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance, JLL. And the winner is, for Miami-Dade County, Bell Harbor Shops, JLL. With Bell Harbor Shops being the chief amenity of the exclusive Bell Harbor Village, residents rightfully take pride in the world-renowned mall that is central to their community, ushering in a 300,000 square foot expansion in a built-to-the-limit neighborhood is no easy feat for residents or stakeholders alike. It requires nimbleness, a genuine hearing of and response to concerns, as well as laser focus throughout the year's log approval process on the long-term community benefit. For Broward County, Spirit Airlines Headquarters, Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance, JLL. There were multiple markets toured and considered. There were many challenges with Dania Point and creative solutions structured with multiple parties to get a deal aligned and a closing. Terminations were negotiated with the office developer and residential developer who both had rights to the sites. The office site itself is extremely tight for a 500,000 square foot office tower and training center and parking garage, and Spirit required a site plan that maximized views to the airport and from I-95. JLL worked together with Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance to make this a project that started well over 3 years ago. The original plan specs changed as the project developed. The Midwest-based site selector was originally looking at several sites, including the present location of Miramar, Florida. Other factors came into play regarding the airline's final selection, including the change in plans to include a site within a 10-mile radius from a commercial air traffic airport, which narrowed the search to Orlando, Dallas, and Fort Lauderdale, all major hubs for Spirit. Broker Team of the Year. Due to a wide variety of entries and the vast amount of entries, this category was divided up by market type to be recognized based upon the market they served. Industrial. Collier's International South Florida team of Aaron Byers and Steve Wasserman. Cushman & Wakefield team of Rick Etner, Matthew McAllister, Christopher Metzger, Julie Miller, Adam Talbot, Christopher Thompson, and Alex Van Dresser. CBRE team of Larry Dinner, Larry Janae, Tom O'Laughlin, and Jake Zabid. State Street Realty team of Brian Cabiellas, Ed Leiden, George Pino, and Frank Trellis. And the winner is CBRE team of Larry Dinner, Larry Janae, Tom O'Laughlin, and Jake Zabidi. Every deal has its own challenges. When you're doing 149 of them, which is 4 deals per work week or almost 1 deal per day, things can get intense. Now keep in mind, all this volume is not just your typical 5,000 square foot warehouse renewal. Larry Dinner, Tom O'Laughlin, and Larry Janae were part of 15 deals over 100,000 square feet and 17 deals from 50,000 to 99,000 square feet. Some were more complicated and seemed utterly impossible. Larry G. had a tenant threaten to shoot him. For this, they ought to surely receive this award. Investment. Avis & Young team of Berkeley Bloodworth, Emily Brace, John Crotty, Brian Delafay, David Duckworth, and Michael Fay. Cushman & Wakefield team of Miguel Alcivar, Mike Ciadella, Jason Hockman, Greg Miller, Dominic Montezemi, and Scott O'Donnell. CBRE team of Andrew Chilgren, Amy Julian, Christian Lee, Jose Labon, Mike Machado, Marcus Menea, Tom Rappa, and Royce Rose. Marcus and Millchap team of Elon Gerberg, Adam Klein, Tyler Kuhlman, Doug Mandel, and Richard Redmond. And the winner is Avis and Young, team of Berkeley Bloodworth, Emily Brace, John Crotty, Brian De La Fay, David Duckworth, and Michael Fay. Avis and Young South Florida Capital Markets Group negotiated and closed $430,098,527 worth of deals in 2019 alone. 45 dynamic deals totaling $340,674,589 were closed in South Florida's Tri-County area. The team has a stellar track record of capitalizing on its members' unique individual expertise to navigate complex and intricate transactions on behalf of their clients, sourcing the most ideal buyers, from private to niche to institutional, and securing the highest prices possible. Office: Cushman & Wakefield team of Jessica Gomez, Travis Herring, Deanna Lubinsky, Chase Culp, and Catherine Ridgway. Tower Commercial Real Estate team of John Blunk, Mike Erickson, Christina Gladia, and Laurel Oswald. And the winner is Cushman & Wakefield team of Jessica Gomez, Travis Herring, Deanna Lubinsky, Chase Culp, and Catherine Ridgway. Cushman & Wakefield's Broward County office leasing team had a record year in 2019. The team arranged leases totaling over 1 million square feet, which included 4 out of the 5 largest office leases in Broward County for the year. To complete so many of the market's largest deals was a challenge because there are simply not many tenants in the $75K to $150K per square foot range in the Broward County market. The team used a very targeted approach to successfully market to the right types of companies. Individual Broker of the Year: Douglas Mandel of Marcus and Millichap, George Pino of State Street Realty, Yuri Quispe of CBRE, Jamie Sturgis of Native Realty. The winner is Douglas K. Mandel of Marcus and Millichap. Mandel focuses exclusively on investment property sales, specifically mid-market and institutional assets throughout the state of Florida and the Southeast. In Marcus and Millichap's Fort Lauderdale office, he spearheads a team of 4 agents and is instrumental in the development of new agents entering the business. Mandel's transactional accomplishments have earned him several distinctions and make him one of the firm's top agents nationally, as well as the leading office and industrial sales agent in the state of Florida. He's received numerous sales achievement awards and has been recognized as a leader in the brokerage community. Mandel's 2019 transactions are indicative of how the steady revival of the South Florida office market has translated to more transactions for increased sales prices. Rookie of the Year: Mary Harris of Berger Commercial Realty, Adam Klein of Marcus and Millichap, Sheila Rue of Styles, Jake Zabidi of CBRE. And the winner is Mary Harris, Berger Commercial Realty. In just her first year as a broker, Berger Commercial Realty sales associate Mary Harris has certainly made a splash. She has strategically navigated the many nuances of the industry, successfully sourcing and brokering her own deals, totaling nearly $6 million. Despite challenges that would faze many experienced brokers, such as devaluation of price per square foot and nearly impossible to achieve client requirements, she's established a reputation as a formidable rookie with a knack of sourcing deals and for closing deals. Project of the Year: the Edison Pembroke Pines, Avis & Young, Bridgepoint Commerce Center, Bridge Development Partners, Miami Central Commons, Foundry Commercial, Wynwood 25, Wynwood Annex Master Development, East End Capital, the Related Group. The winner is, of the 2019 Project of the Year, Miami Central Commons, Foundry Commercial. Foundry's multi-phase development on a 47-acre site in Miami's Airport West submarket involved the renovation of 2 existing warehouse buildings in a duty-free international trade zone. Alongside the renovation of existing buildings, Foundry delivered 2 state-of-the-art industrial buildings with a combined size of 318,000 plus square feet. These buildings were constructed while working around existing tenants at the highly trafficked intersection of Northwest 107th Avenue and Northwest 25th Street.
Member of the Year is always one of the hardest awards to select, as we don't take nominations for this award. It is a tough decision with many among the board. We are blessed with amazing volunteers that assist in making the event successful. All NAIOP South Florida board members either serve on committees or chair committees. When a volunteer falls short because of work demands, another volunteer steps up and rises to the occasion. It really takes a village and great staff to make our prestigious events happen without a hiccup. We are grateful for our village of amazing volunteers. Year after year, volunteers like Mike Silver and Maggie Kurtz and their team perform magic acts in the Miami-Dade bus tour, always creating an exciting learning adventure. Greg Martin, Ryan Nee, Dan Ciosi, Steve Smith, and many others make a fun day for all the experience on the golf course, all while raising funds for Jack and Jill Children's Center. Our trusted leader last year, Darcy Lunsford, with her creative and passionate pushing of boundaries, feeding into relevant and interesting press-worthy programming. Our president, Stephanie Rodriguez, for all of her past years of running awards of excellence and making sure we have brokers, developers filling out those online applications, which is no easy task. This year, Member of the Year stand out because we have 2 outstanding members making a real difference. Both have taken active roles in our chapter year after year. The first one, she led a sold-out successful Broward bus tour with attendees filling the spirit of Woodstock, and she encouraged companies to show their company spirit. He is one of our greeting faces you see at every event. Besides always lending a helping hand and much needed muscle, this member volunteer is on a few committees, but he negotiated a relationship that will greatly benefit all of our future beverage needs and much, much more. This year's Member of the Year is Lauren Pace, Sunbeam Properties, Miramar Park of Commerce. And give another handout to Nick Mao from First Point Advisors.
Iconic New Project of the Year. And the winner is Auberge Beach Residences and Spa Fort Lauderdale, the related group. Developed by a team of global industry luminaries, Auberge Beach is the first residential-only property from the acclaimed Auberge Resorts collection, known for its uniquely laid-back take on luxury. It's also one of Fort Lauderdale's few on-the-sand high-rise luxury condominiums, and one in an even more select group of properties which have earned the fervent support from the local community. The Fort Lauderdale community's staunchly anti-development stance presented a major challenge to Auberge Beach Residences and Spa, threatening to stall the project before it even got an inch off the ground. In order to counter this, the related group and its development partners leveraged their long local history, attended and organized over 500 community meetings, and utilized an aggressive local outreach program that ultimately gained the community's support and approval. Developer of the Year. The finalists are Bridge Development Partners, Prologis, Foundry Commercial, Butters Construction and Development. The Developer of the Year is Bridge Development Partners. Leveraging its vast experience, local market knowledge, and boutique size, allowing for quick decision-making, this firm captured some of the last few remaining land tracts in South Florida, most of which came with unique challenges, such as getting sites ready for development by mitigating issues such as landfills, as well as sourcing and closing strategically located sites with development potential.
Thank you for supporting and watching the 2019 NAIOP South Florida Awards of Excellence. Congratulations to all our nominees and winners.
We look forward to seeing all of you in person in the coming weeks and months as we move through these unprecedented times. Until then, stay safe and be well. Cheers.